Yeah, I wanted to study law.
My big ambition was just to really get a grasp of a new discipline, to move into a new place, want to meet new people.
I guess I'm in that confused stage where I don't really know where I'm going with it, and I guess my focus, or what most of my time goes to extracurricular stuff.
Getting an international perspective.
Well, my ambition was definitely to get a good career, get a good start.
Do a little bit better?
Yeah, it was probably a little bit unrealistic, I'm sure. It's changed drastically.
Terminology of university things, and again learning about things in a degree and in a discipline that I was completely unfamiliar with. It was hard to find a balance, and also all your social things as well. They're flying at you from every direction, so it was difficult to find a balance. I suppose that was the main thing for me.
Hard to find that balance of study and play, especially when you just turn 18.
You become involved in student associations and those kinds of things. I guess study is a priority, but at the same time, you've got the deadlines, and if you don't come through with a specific deadline for BUSA or HSA, for example, then an event won't get off the ground. So it's a hard balancing act.
It's kind of hard to perform well in class and then also like travel and do stuff like that on weekends. It feels like I'm awake 24/7, trying to like have time to do everything I want. So like I don't really know how to cope with it.
Dropping the straight law made it quite difficult. Learning a lot of the law subjects are quite intense. So for a few semesters I dropped to three law subjects, like work. Had to cut down on. I think I'd like obsess over something stupid in a subject.
Yeah.
Like if I'm writing an assignment or if I'm stressed out or say for an exam, like you lose sight of like what the subject is. Complete loss of perspective.
We're all feeling some sort of stress.
But this is always just the stress you put yourself into.
That's what I'm saying. We kind of figure out how are we going to beat our stress. Maybe going to the bar, kicking a couple of brews, maybe just chilling at home, having a couple of cigarettes, whatever you want to do. We have ways to battle it, you know what I mean? It's just that the biggest stress is why is that stress there in the first place, you know what I mean? If it's an artificial stress, 100 people graduate with the same knowledge, same education, same everything. I think that's the most stressful part is what differentiates between them, you know what I mean? Get rid of this trimester stuff, you know, this trimester thing. They concentrate everything literally within how many weeks? 11 weeks, you know what I mean? But that's the beginning of the battle. And if the beginning of the battle is this stressful, imagine how it would be when you leave university and go into the real world.
It's a really distracting phenomenon, stress. I mean, you're trying so hard to put everything that you've got into it, and then it's just distracting. You're thinking about 100 things at once, and I suppose I'm not really sure how I deal with stress. I really have no idea. Just sort of pushing myself further, which probably doesn't help. And I wish there were some strategies out there that work towards that. Just pressure on you. It's sort of weight on the shoulders sometimes, I suppose, and just also a matter of almost putting up a front as though it isn't affecting you, but that does everyone. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's always the Red Bull late night stress, but then there's other stuff as well. I mean, I've got friends and family at home, and I'm from Melbourne, so I'm not from here. So yeah, it's difficult.
I hadn't kept up, and how it would affect me was basically I just couldn't cope, but I did try my best.
I lose sight of it without realising that I've lost sight of my ambition, and then when you regain sight of your ambition, it sort of stems you, spurs you on to do better. But I think losing sight of it is sort of something that just is pretty standard that happens once you've been here for like 1 or 2 weeks, I think.
Get into life on. It's probably one of the best things I've done since starting at Bond. It's really changed my perspective on how to approach Bond.
I find it helpful with some practice how I'm gonna work smarter, not harder.
I tell them to be open to the idea.
You know, being able to go inside yourself and really discover who you want to be and who you are and who you desire to become. So I think anyone can benefit from it. I'd say definitely go along, keep going. I'll push you there if need be. But I recommend it to everyone. I still recommend it if Life On comes up. I'd say I went there, I'll do it again. Like seriously, everyone should do it because you just learn about things that you don't usually come across in your daily life.
You should go and try it out because I mean it works. It's one of those things that is open to a lot of people. You end up benefiting from it so much.
we invest so much of our energy and time not only into others and into things that don't even amount to anything, and when we stop and we invest even 10 minutes into looking at ourselves or helping ourselves, like that's something that'll change the rest of our lives.